Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah. Hello, everyone. This is Rosemary Nonny Night, and it is the Church of RNK. Welcome to another awesome Church of RNK. Woo. Today we're talking about things that could be keeping you stuck. Something that people don't always want to look at. Truth be told, okay, some of y'all, maybe you do look at that stuff, maybe you look at it far too long and actually don't do anything. You're just kind of spending a heck of a lot of time navel gazing, because this is a bit of a navel gazing kind of stream today. This is a navel gazing church today. Basically, this is the Church of RNK, guys. Tell me where you're coming in from, where you're streaming in from. Tell me, yeah, say hello. Yes is amen's always acceptable, or something else, okay? Basically, always join in the conversation. So we're talking about where you're getting stuck, or where you may be getting stuck. And this is an area that I found really difficult myself. I've had, and most of the people in my world, okay, if you're in my community, the chances are that you have had a story. There's been some kind of drama going on in your life, basically. Big deal or small deal, whatever. You might judge it as big or small. But whichever way, it is something that is keeping you, that has got in the way of you doing the things that you want to do. Maybe not necessarily always in the way that you see it. Let me just share this, and then I will talk properly. Let me just share. You guys can share it as well. We're going to be talking about some deep stuff. Ultimately, I think it's deep anyway. I think it's deep. Tell me where you're streaming in from, guys. I want to know. Tell me before we get into the crux of this conversation right here, right now. I can hear my husband in the kitchen making lunch, which is pretty damn cool. Basically, I always like to do this around about lunchtime, and then go off and have my lunch immediately afterwards. So I'm just sharing this. Do tell me where you're streaming in from, guys. I want to know. Say hello to me. You're there. Say hello. Share. Say hello. Tell me where you're streaming in from. I am coming. I will actually start talking seriously in a second. And then we'll be doing our affirmation for the day. But I just want to share it a bit, and then I will make a start. Let's see, that's one place done. Come on. I like to make this as quick as possible, but I don't always get there quickly enough. Okay. Oh, it's telling me that I've shared my thing, which is cool. Because I have. Let's see. So there's in the Mavericks. And Mavericks, if you're joining in, that would be great to have you on here. And finally, my old page, Mom in Business. Let's do this thing. Let's see. Okay. So, what is the thing that could be keeping you stuck? Now, we are all leaders in this community, okay? We're people who see ourselves as people who are called to do something more. We see ourselves as purpose-driven. We have something that we want to do inside of us. And yes, we do want to create a heck of a lot of wealth whilst doing this thing. Okay, we want to serve people and we want to make lots of money. However, there are certain things that will get in the way of you doing that. And they will block you time and time again. And this was definitely my story. And if I don't keep an eye out for myself, it continues to be my story. And this thing, which is something we don't always want to talk about because we're very practical people as well, it is forgiveness. It is carrying resentments and angers and all of that kind of crazy stuff on your heart or your spirit. And it then starts to block you up. You're not able to do the things that you want to do because, you're trying to prove yourself to somebody else. Or you're so angry. You can't think clearly. Or you're spending so much time pretending you're not angry. Pretending that, it's such a small thing, I should just forget about it. I should just not worry about it. And maybe you shouldn't worry about it, but the fact of the matter is that you are. So, it's all well and good telling yourself that you should not do something, but if you are, you better get on and face it, honey. I wrote a post about this ages and ages ago, something along the lines of, leader, you must heal. Now, some people get really uncomfortable around words like healing and all that kind of stuff because it sounds too woo-woo and such. I don't care what word you want to use. This is it. When there's some stuff inside of your head plaguing you, people have done stuff, you've done something that makes you feel really stupid and cringy, you need to let that stuff go if you're going to move forward and actually become the leader that you envision that you are created to be, guys. Yes, it's amens. Come on, somebody must agree with me here. But this is it. We have there's all kinds of stories that y'all can tell me, I'm sure. Okay, I can tell you my stories. I can pull out my violin. We can play it forever. And I do not say that to diminish any of the stories, okay? Because I know that those stories, whatever it is that you've been through, whatever someone has done, maybe your partner cheated on you, maybe your parents treated you in a certain way, maybe, who knows, maybe your children treated you in a certain way and you're struggling to forgive them and you feel guilty because you are the parent and you're supposed to forgive, but you're also angry because day's crazy, basically. Or your parents done something, you feel guilty because you are the child, you are supposed to forgive, but then at the same time they've done something and they're continuing to do something that just makes you want to kill them, but then you feel both guilt and shame and anger and resentment, and there's all of this stuff going on under the surface, and you are trying as well to pretend it's not there, because we are leaders, we just have to carry on with life, we're just getting on with it, we don't have time to be messing around thinking about all of this stuff, we have things to do, right? Except you're not as effective as you could be, and there's probably a cap on what you're doing, and you're wondering why you can't seem to break through. This could be one of the reasons why. Okay, I'm not saying for everybody, but I know for me, this was one of the reasons that I could not break through in my business. When I started my property business, I got so far and I couldn't go any further. I went and hung out with some dude for a day. I hung out with my coach, and I do this with my clients as well, okay? Where we hang out together for a whole day, literally going through some of the stuff, some of their story, and getting it sorted. Because sometimes it's the most crazy stuff that we don't want to look at, that is getting in the way of you doing the work that you're here to do. And you don't want to get to the end of your life and be thinking, oh my gosh, if I just handled this nonsense, I could be so much further. And then, of course, you then feel even more angry with yourself for not just getting on and dealing with it. And it's like, number one here, guys, it's time to honor yourself. Honor your feelings, honor yourself, honor the stuff that you've gone through. Don't diminish it. Don't make it bigger than it is. But don't diminish it either. Don't pretend it's not there. Sometimes these things need to be handled. Sometimes, yes, you can look at a thing, think, okay, well, I can see that that's a problem. I can see that, and I'm going to handle it, and it's done. And for some things, that is the case. You can look at it, and you can just decide it's over, okay? Unless you decide to indulge in some self-pity or whatever, okay? But there are some things that you just can't seem to shake. No matter how many times you say, oh, it's done. I just need to stop worrying about such a stupid thing. And even people might even make you feel stupid for actually having this thing on your heart. It's still there. You need to actually spend a little bit of time figuring that stuff out. You need to honor yourself. I don't even remember where I completely saw this, but I remember reading something ages and ages ago. I've written this down. And it was, you can't heal until you feel. You can't feel until it's safe to feel, okay? And you can't feel safe until someone is willing to listen, until the pain fades away. And so for me, I had to go and find someone who was going to be safe, that safe space for me to actually deal with my shit, basically, and get some of this stuff handled. And in doing that, within 90 days, my business had blown up, okay? And I could see that it was very much pinpointed to that, because suddenly I am more creative. Because I've unblocked some of my crazy energy, okay? Because all of that anger and resentment and guilt and shame, it's all in there blocking you up, making you feel like, how am I supposed to, I don't know, you don't, the truth is, I didn't even think that it was an issue. So you don't even recognize it's an issue. It's only when you start to talk through this stuff, when you start to deal with it, you suddenly realize, oh my gosh, she was blocking me up and I didn't even realize it. So which is why you have to be very deliberate about making sure you're healthy emotionally, okay? Again, please, this is no excuse to just kind of spend your whole life trying to be emotionally healthy whilst not doing anything. All the while that I was getting all of this stuff sorted out, I was still doing the work, okay? The physical work of building my business, okay? That did not stop just because I was trying to figure out the emotional or internal clarity. But if you've been in my world for any length of time, you know that I say things like action plus clarity creates wealth, okay? The two of them must work together. You must be clean and clear inside of you, or at least be working towards it, whilst at the same time you are doing the work. You cannot allow your feelings to stop you from doing the practical work, or else you will always be stuck. And we don't want to be that anymore. We have a purpose. We have something that we're here to do. So therefore, honey, we must choose to set ourselves free. Okay? It is a choice. It is a choice. It is a hard choice, because sometimes the person you need to forgive is still doing the thing that you want to kill them for, basically. And then it's pretty pretty dang hard to actually let the thing go, isn't it? Guys, you're all not talking to me, you're just listening to me, but fine. I'm gonna sing at you right now. What key did I decide I was gonna do this in? I think it's this one. Okay, and the affirmation for today is simple. I forgive, I set myself free. I forgive, I set myself free. Now, I do think it's going to take a little bit, for certain things, it's going to take a bit more than a few affirmations. That is going to actually, get it sorted. But you know what? Let's start opening the pathway to you choosing to go get support, find a safe place, find someone that's going to listen to you. Come and work with me, okay? Because that's what I do with entrepreneurs. So I don't just look at the strategy side of things, because frankly, I found that just the strategy on its own never really completely sorts anything out, because people I work with are capable people. If it was just about strategy, then they would already be rich. So, and the same will go with you. The chances are it's not just about strategy. It is also about the stuff that you're holding yourself back for because you don't feel worthy. You don't feel, if you feel any kind of guilt or shame inside of you, that will make you feel you're not a good enough person to actually get rich or to do the work that you're here to do. You'll find all kinds of reasons not to actually get into work. All kinds of stuff, okay? And if you're angry and resentful, you can't be creative. You can't be all that creative. You can be a little bit, and sometimes that anger can push you, but it's a push that you can't maintain. That's not the life you want to live. Okay, because I know when I came to this country first, I felt as if I had a lot to prove. I felt like as a girl living in my family, I felt as though I was somehow considered second class, and that I felt I had to prove to them that I was not second class. And so a lot of what I did was very much pushed by anger and resentment at these men in my life that had made me feel as though I was second class. And so, for the first year of college, man, I got A's and everything just to prove to them that, you know what, I am worth something. But it couldn't last. It didn't last, okay? At some point, somebody loved me enough that I could actually start to get past my anger. And then I realized I don't want to live that life. I don't want to live a life where I'm just angry all the time, just trying to prove myself to somebody all the time. That person is then in control of my life, in control of what I do or don't do. Some of y'all are stuck in careers because you're still trying to prove to some person that you are capable of doing this thing. We know you're capable of doing this thing. Please set yourself free so that you can go and do the thing that you actually want to do, not the thing you think you have to do in order to prove that you are something. You are something, honey. You are something. You are already something. But if you want your life to really, really count, you want to be free of this nonsense. Any nonsense inside of you. Again, I say this quite but I know the pain, okay? I know the pain that some of y'all will be going through. I know the pain of pretending everything is perfect on the outside. Looking the part all the time. Never being too worried to let your guard down even a little bit. Because, one, you're worried that if you do let your guard down, you won't be able to get back up. It's never the truth. Or you're worried that people will somehow use you or abuse you, and you've put up those walls and you are not letting them down ever again. The problem is that you've just created a prison for yourself. I mean, we've all heard this. You know this. But are you willing to do something about it? Because, honey, there's no more time to live the wrong life. I said this yesterday night. I say it again to you guys. There is no more time to live the wrong life where you're trying to be something for somebody, or you're refusing to handle your internal crazy so that you can move forward and you can start to do the thing that you actually want to do rather than the thing that you feel you have to do. I'm talking so fast, I know. Basically, let's sing a little bit here. I forgive, I set myself free. 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 And that's really what it's about. It's about setting yourself free, okay? It's not letting anybody off the hook. If somebody's still being crazy in your life, it doesn't mean you should go and put yourself still under their thumb, basically. No, it doesn't mean any of that. It doesn't mean you allow anybody to treat you badly. No, it just means that you let go of the emotional bond you have with this person. Sometimes it's also that you're not forgiving yourself. Maybe you made a mistake once. Like when I went bankrupt, it took me a while to forgive myself for making such a mistake. To me, it was horrible. I felt like I'd failed myself completely. And so yes, I had to forgive myself for that. I had to forgive myself for doing whatever I did in order to get myself to that place. I had to recognize that when you know better, you do better. But I did the best I knew how to do in that situation. So you're going to have to say that to yourself and recognize that if you've made mistakes, it's time to let them go. You don't need to create a life from that mistaken place. You can create a life from a fresh place where you are new, because you are. Every single freaking day you are new. You get to make a choice. In fact, every minute you can choose to make a different choice about how your life plays out. Same thing goes with the people that do stuff to you. When they know better, they'll do better. So yes, we can hold it over their heads or try to prove ourselves to them, or try to prove that they're wrong, or keep waiting for them to come and apologize before we let them off the hook, or blah, 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 blah. We are the one in prison, and we are the one that needs to be free. And when we keep, I suppose there's that saying about something about holding on to unforgiveness is like drinking poison and hoping that it hurts the other person or something. We've all heard these things, which they are cliches, but they are the truth. If we are going to live the life that we're born to live, we need to be free inside. Now, it's an ongoing clarity, always an ongoing clarity. So I don't expect everybody to suddenly become perfect in 3 seconds flat, but there are certain areas of your life that for right now, you need to actually handle. Okay, you need to actually handle that stuff right now. And what has this got to do with business growth? Everything. As I said, for me, I know I can't tell you the exact way it all links together. I just know that it blocks your creativity. I know it blocks you from doing some of the things that you would want to do in terms of growing your business or growing your ministry or writing those books. If there's all of this clouded emotional tension inside of you, it's difficult to move forward. Honeys, you need to be healed, or whatever word works for you, okay? You need to figure out where is your safe space so that you can start to handle this stuff. Because for some of you, the same cycle keeps playing out over and over again. Why? Because the universe is trying to tell you you need to handle this stuff, okay? Until you do, it just becomes an ongoing cycle in your life. You get so far in business and the business crashes and burns. You get so far in your career, something happens and somebody kicks you out. Blah, 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 blah. It just keeps happening. And it's like, honey, at what point will you finally realize that you need to handle this stuff? And it is sometimes just literally by looking at it, becoming aware of what it is drawing up inside of you, handling where necessary, maybe handling it with somebody else, where not necessary, you just handle it. Okay? Yes, you can work with me. I can help you handle it. Absolutely. We can hang out for the day and really get into the core of whatever it is and get you handled, or we work together for a long time, whatever. But you can also do some of this stuff your own awesome self. But first and foremost, you have to be aware that it's there. So this Church of RNK, it's really giving you the opportunity to look at what is going on under the surface for you. Is it time that you started to look at those angers and resentments, or even where you're trying to pretend you don't feel what you feel? Just because you pretend you don't feel it doesn't mean that you don't feel it. Okay, it's like people who sometimes people pleased are trying to pretend they don't feel resentful of the fact that everybody's taking advantage of you. Because you think it makes you good to pretend that you're fine. It doesn't make you good, it just makes you blocked up. If you are feeling stuck in any area of your life right now, particularly in growing the business that you feel called to grow, or to write those books, or art, or music, or ministry, whatever it is, then this may be somewhere that you need to be looking. And be real with yourself and handle it. There's many books on the market. I don't think it's enough to read a book, personally. But I know sometimes you're so powerful, you want to try to do this stuff yourself. Just, reach out for support. It's just faster. There's no more time to live the wrong life, for goodness sake. How many times can I say that to y'all? It's time to start living a deliberate life where we just handle this stuff as it comes up instead of waiting and hoping that somehow, who knows, it'll just suddenly disappear by itself. Nothing good comes just by itself. Okay, yes, there's the occasional miracle, but you're generally on the way to it, basically, and then suddenly things get easier. They don't just, only bad things seem to just happen. So we have to get very deliberate about designing our life. And if there is some emotional craziness that is holding you back from doing what you would like to do, handle it. Handle it, because you are more than able. You are a leader, man. There are people you are here to serve in some way. There is no time for you to keep messing around, holding on to these things. And I do not diminish it. I know that sometimes it's the hardest thing you will do to actually let go of some of the annoyances and angers inside of you, because this person or these people may have treated you incredibly badly, and you will feel as though to let it go is to say that they were okay, that it was okay for them to treat you that way. It is not saying that. It was never okay for them to treat you that way, but it's not okay for them to continue to control you. Okay. I forgive, I set myself free. 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 And again, I will say, you cannot heal until you feel. You cannot feel until it is safe, and you cannot feel safe until someone is willing to listen, until the pain just fades away. So if you need support in that, then you just need to reach out to me. I can definitely help you. But whichever way, make the decision first and foremost that you are actually going to move forward. If you, make the decision first that you are actually going to handle this stuff. You're not going to let it overwhelm you, because again, that is your choice. It can feel overwhelming before you start to look at it, but it doesn't have to be. I do think, find yourself a safe space. Come and join us in the Deliberate Millionaire Fast Track Club. Reach out to me. I can create a space for you where we can actually handle this stuff. If there's nobody in your world right now where you can have just a nice long conversation where they're not trying to put their agenda on top of you, basically, because that is not helpful. Almost, when I have conversations like this with you guys over a live stream, it almost feels a little bit like, I have to leave it incomplete. But I suppose my job or my duty or my whatever right here is just to make you aware of those parts of you that are still in darkness, that are keeping you from the fullness of the life that you are born to live. I wish, yes, I can speak life and healing over you right now and say, you know what? Right now, you can be healed of all of that stuff inside of you. But I know that there will be some that is enough for. But for some of you, it's not enough that I just say that. It is, you actually have to do the hard work of handling this stuff. Choose to do it. Choose to find someone to support you. Don't try to figure this stuff out alone completely unless you know it's one of those click of a button. That's it. Some things are like that, no doubt about it, but not all things, okay? A lot of the stuff in my life, it was a case of look at it, okay, at the moment I'm aware of it, it's over. Hey, Ige, how you doing? Amen. Some of that stuff is click of a button. And for you guys, I've clicked. Let it be done, okay? For some of you, it's not enough to click my fingers and be done. For some of you, you need to look harder and get rid of some of this stuff, okay? Choose to do it. Don't think to yourself, I'm above all of this. Don't be so proud that your ego keeps you trapped in a life you do not like forever. Okay? Because I know what it's like to be us. This is the kind of thing that a few years ago even, I would not be having a conversation like this with you at all. I would have just been kind of like, oh, for goodness sake, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to every person who is of peach-colored skin that hears me say this, but I would always say silly things like, it's just one of those white person's diseases. Okay, that was my cop-out. Okay, that was my cop-out. because I was too scared to face what was going on inside of me. So I thought, nobody needs to. It's not the truth. People do. I did. In order for me to be free, in order for me to be able to sit here, standing here, having this conversation with you, to have built the businesses that I've built, to have helped anybody else, I've had to deal with a heck of a lot of stuff. And I want you to be free as well, okay? Hello? So I want you to be free as well, okay? It's one of my princesses coming through the door. Okay, I see I'm drinking from a Fab Dad cup. I need a Mother's Day cup, really. I think I should have to ask my children to give me one. But anyway, guys, this is it. I'm going to bring this to a close right now. Make a decision, make an affirmation to yourself that you are going to figure out how to forgive all the nonsense that has happened to you, because every single person that I work with, generally, amen, Falami, absolutely. Every single person I work with, we have stories, okay? Anyway, you guys are my people. We have a story. We have some stuff that we have to handle, okay? And there's no shame in that. There's only shame if you see it and then you try to pretend it's not there. Don't be that person. That is kind of weak. Let us be strong enough to handle our internal crazes, okay? So that we are free and released to go into the world doing the thing that we're actually here to do. Not trying to prove ourselves to anybody. Let's be free of everybody. I'm not saying we don't want to talk to anybody, I'm saying, but free of any negative ties, any negative bonds to anybody that stifles our creativity, that keeps us from the life that we're born to live. Let us free ourselves. Okay? Okay. So this is, again, as always, my invitation to you is to come and join me in the Deliberate Millionaire Fast Track Club, because if you do want to work with me in any way to get this stuff sorted, as well as, I generally work with entrepreneurs or people planning to be entrepreneurs at least, basically, then you will have to be in the Deliberate Millionaire Fast Track Club first before I have even the initial conversation with you, because I need to be sure that you're actually serious about moving forward, okay? Lots of people like to talk, but don't like to actually do the work. So I want you to make a commitment. You come and join me in the Deliberate Millionaire Fast Track Club. We'll have, if you reach out to me from there, we will have a conversation around getting you sorted out in this area of your life so that you're not held back any longer, okay? This is for you. This is for you. So you choose you first. You make that investment in yourself, and then you make a decision that you want to reach out, and then we will work together to get you sorted, okay? It may take long, it may take a short time, who knows? We'll have that conversation and decide what needs to happen in order for you to move forward. It may just be one conversation. So come on now. It is time for you, one, to choose to honor yourself, and now to fight for and to deliberately design the life you're born to live, because you absolutely want to, honey. There's so much waiting for you on the other side of any of this fear or lack of clarity. There's so much more. And it's time that you started to live that best life for you. Build that business that makes you come alive, that gets you doing the work that you're here to do, gets you impacting and influencing others for good, changing your community, your family, your country. But we need to get rid of some of this internal crazy, or at least start to handle it so that we're moving forward powerfully. Make the choice. Make the choice. I am commanding you. And on that note, guys, it's time to fight for and to deliberately design the life you're born to live. Come and join me in the club, because you absolutely want to. It's been a pleasure as always. This has been the Church of RNK. I'm Rosemary Nonny Knight. Thanks, guys, for taking part. Share. There are other people that need to hear this stuff, so do press that button wherever it is on your screen. Share it. Thank you very much. Much love. Until the next time. Bye.